Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of Let's Talk Battle Rap. It's your co-host, France. You follow the show on Twitter, We Talk Battle Rap. You can follow the show on iTunes and SoundCloud, Let's Talk Battle Rap. And today, I have two guests. Over here to my left, I have Lex Luthor. You've seen him on URL. You've seen him on King of the Dot. You've seen him on ibattle. You've seen him on Grind Time back in the day. You've seen him on the Draft League. It's extensive. It's extensive. And to my right, we have co-owner of ibattle League, Mars.
Yeah, Paul Mars.
Gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, man. I appreciate it.
Nah, I'm glad you guys took the time out to actually, pull up. I respect everybody's time, and the schedule of a battle rapper must be crazy, and the schedule of a league owner, both of you guys.
We need two of us. It's actually three of us. He's not here because that's how busy we are.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff we can't be doing.
I can imagine. So
he's editing something right now.
Yeah.
And for you, battling and owning a league, how difficult is it to juggle both of those?
I mean, when you're passionate about it, it's not really that difficult. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I've said it once. I said it like some people play basketball, some people play paintball. I do battle rap. So to me, it's not really that straining.
It is interesting, man. I don't even know where to start with you because, like, I've seen your battles from, like, 2011, 2012, and you always cracked me up. Like, your style always cracked me up. You was just so great at, like, having that one line always.
Yeah.
But the evolution of who you are today, and let's be honest, in your early days, you received a lot of criticism.
Yeah, for sure.
If we could pull out a laptop or a phone right now and go through a YouTube video
I
and read the comments.
Trust me, I remember. I lived it. I remember experiencing it. You know?
Yeah, the tides have turned.
Yeah.
For sure.
And now that it's like everybody loves you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. What during those years when you got all of that backlash, on the internet, what kept you like, all right, this doesn't matter? What kept you going?
I didn't really read it. Like,
you read it?
Nah, not really.
I think I would read it and get pissed off.
Not really because I knew what to expect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe like the first two, after like my first or second King of the Dot battle dropped, I didn't really read into it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie, for the most part, it was Pat Stay telling me not to read it. He's like, ain't nothing in there.
Right.
The battle rap fans are so negative. It's a negative sport.
Right.
You really have anything nice to say.
They're gonna say something negative regardless, even if you're on top of your shit.
Right. Right.
But
even the top guys will get that criticism. You're gonna find those comments no matter what.
Right. I think of one person you battled, right? And you battled him on the Ground Zero, Gyms.
Right.
You can remember too, like a couple years back, maybe 3-4 years ago, when he was coming up, 2014, he received a lot of hate too.
Well, that was like the battle of hatred, me and Gyms.
And at one point in time, he wanted to quit.
Yeah.
I love the fact he didn't. So I always think to myself, like, the battle rappers say they don't really care about the internet, the backlash, but somewhere deep down you care, and like to receive all that negativity for like how hard you work as an artist, it's got to kind of like not be demoralizing, but it's got to itch you in the back of your head a little bit,
Yeah.
It's got to affect them, It can't not. That's why. That's probably why Pat told you, don't read it. It probably happened to him. He went through that. He probably read it.
Right, you can't please everybody anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was saying, that even the top guys, you're going to find those negative comments no matter what.
Plus the way I came up in battle rap, like in New York, when I was coming up and you rapped about like Digimon and Pokemon and stuff like that, and like when I was coming up, that wasn't cool. Like you couldn't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had to do it in a way where it was accepted, you know what I mean? So I came in with people already not liking my style.
Right.
People didn't want to hear back in the days when the PGs first started, and it was Rosenberg Raw and Clean Paper.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear Pokemon shit in them rooms, bro. No one cared about Pikachu in them rooms,
Right.
So from jump, it was tough for me.
If somebody who doesn't know you watches your style, they'll say this is a grind time style, but you only had one grind time battle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You only had one.
Well, when I came up, it was the downfall.
2011.
Yeah. I went from the draft right to King of the Dot.
Mm.
Your
first battle was with Casper.
Bully. I had a GZ tryout, but it did good, like 10,000 views or something like that.
Right.
So they was messing with the American boy.
I was surprised on the line, like, well, your King of the Dot resume, you never got Tycoon Tax. I felt like he was always like...
Well, that was my man. That was my man.
we
That's
used to
why.
hang out with him
That was
when we
always
were
kind of
there.
like
Yeah,
the
that's-
test for a lot of people to come in.
Right.
I think that's why that didn't happen. We
Right.
got along with him. We were hanging out with him every time we went out there.
They wanted me and Tax to battle a couple times. They
See,
wanted me
yeah,
and Crack
I'm-
to battle too.
I can imagine so. I can
But I
imagine
think
so.
at that level, like it would kill that fire of that battle. It wouldn't be. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, I wouldn't want to be me and the Tax at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Well-
It'd be just.
I've battled friends. Well, me and Bangs weren't friends when we battled yet. Like, we just knew each other.
Right.
But I've battled my friend once. The battle I met Paul at, Paranormal. And, it's not cool to, like, make fun of your friend to entertain strangers. There's, like, this weird awkwardness about it. Where it's, like, you and him and a bunch of people you don't know. Like, it's really weird, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not enjoyable, that's for sure.
That's interesting. And, like with your King of the Dot battles, one of your biggest moments for me is when you got to finally battle Marv 1. And I know you grew up watching Marv 1 and you respect him as a legend.
Yeah, for sure.
What was
I
it
did.
like writing for Marv, like you having to prepare for that battle?
Oh, man, this is not the answer people want. Grueling, Grueling. Only because, the reason me and... fuck it, whatever. The reason me and Marv 1 battled was because Big T and Franchise didn't go down. Right? Franchise was locked in to battle Big T, and then in the last minute signed his URL contract and backed out of the battle.
Oh, okay.
Franchise's whole thing was he wanted to be on URL the whole time, though.
Right.
That's his reasoning to battling on King of the Dot was so URL could see him.
Right before that, I think he battled A-Ward, and they had a great battle.
Right. Before he battled on King of the Dot, he battled in Beast Mode when I was doing the booking there in Toronto.
Yeah.
So I helped Franchise in the process of like him and Cortez, him and Lotta Zay, him and I believe Joey V. I did that. So all of Franchise's upcoming battles was all towards getting on URL. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, me and Marv. The reason me and Marv battled was they needed that last minute battle. They needed to close the card off. I had battled Sid Vicious in Dallas a week before Marv 1.
Yeah.
And Marv 1 battled, I think, Jinai in South Africa a week before we battled. We both battled a week before. And I got him the battle in South Africa.
Oh,
so
nice,
that's
nice.
why the battle came apart.
Nice.
He was like, all right, Lex got me this battle. I'll battle him on Gully versus Gannick. It'll be a good look. But neither of us really wanted to, like, you know what I mean?
You wouldn't have wanted it that way. You wouldn't have wanted that rushed.
No. Especially if it's one of the big battles like this, I don't want it to be a last minute battle.
Right.
Especially knowing that I have another battle really close to it. I see King of the Dot staff as my friend, so I like helping them out in
Absolutely.
situations like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would like if the situation was more catered to give us a classic battle.
So would you consider that your biggest battle to date?
No. I would say me and ENOS is my biggest battle
Oh,
to date.
for sure. But prior to that, was that your biggest?
Yeah, no, because I don't see my opponent as the biggest obstacle there. I would
Okay.
say my biggest battle would be the first one I did in South Africa,
Nice.
because that's the first ever international battle there, and I battled their champ like I wasn't supposed to win that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that was my biggest battle, being alone in another country. No one knows me, and I'm battling the champion. That's probably the biggest moment right there. Me and Marv is up there, top 3.
Nice. So then moving forward, right, to the present time, since you mentioned ENOS, I kind of want to know a little bit more about the history of, like, how you and URL kind of joined the forces of, like, them having you on their platform. Like, seeing you rise over the years and seeing you on that platform is interesting, how they, like, decided to adapt your style.
Right.
How, more importantly, all the battles you've had on URL, they've been in small rooms, but, like, people love the energy you bring. The crowd's been eruptive. Right. There's been pauses in between. It's almost as if you're on the stage.
Right. I mean, I think it's a mix of a couple things. I was on my way back from I don't remember where, but I was on the one train coming back from the airport, and these kids on the train were talking about like Charlie Clips and chess and like who would win if they battled.
Right.
And I came from like coming from a couple different countries battling, and these kids had no idea who I was. So I was like, you know what? I need this battle in New York because people forgot. So I went and I did a We Go Hard battle. I went to a We Go Hard event. They didn't know who I was.
Wow.
They tried to charge me to get in. Paid whatever, then
You paid. You didn't say, "Hey, I'm Lex. I'm not paying." You paid.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with the guy at the door. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're performing.
No. I just went to go watch.
Okay.
I lived in Toronto for like 3
Okay.
years.
Okay.
So when I moved back, no one knew who I was. Like I went to Born Legacy to watch Franchise, and like, no one.
Wow.
They don't watch King of the Dot out here like that.
Right.
You know? So how me and URL really came about was when I started doing We Go Hard battles, and of course, you know, B City, who runs We Go Hard, is the URL cameraman, as well as your boy Clip. From the Draft League, your boy Clip. So that's kind of...
That's how it all intermingles.
Right. I put up a status one day as like a trolling thing. It was April Fool's, actually. I was like, yo, I'm on the next Born Legacy. And people started sharing it to groups. It got like a couple hundred likes, whatever it was. You know how it goes. So someone called, I think, P, and was like, oh, P, you booked Lex. That's what's up. And he was like, no, I didn't. I don't even know who that is, you know?
Right.
And he was like, oh, well, Lex said he's on the next Born Legacy, and everybody's tweeting about it and shit like that.
Right.
He's like, I don't know. I don't even know who that kid is. Send me the footage. So he sent me versus Kayla. They sent it to P. He was like, I don't know this kid, but I'll book him. Find him for me.
Wow.
You know? So out of a April Fool's joke, it actually wound up coming to fruition.
How ironic, like you spit so much jokes when a joke got you the battle.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So it's like you trolled your way there.
Yeah. Me and Paul were on the way to Orlando, and then everybody in the car is like, URL staff keeps tweeting about you, man. They need your phone number like right now.
Wow.
You know, I was with like Prez and XL and Bangs and stuff. We were all on the way to Orlando, and everybody started looking for me. So it came pretty much like that. It was like a real overnight thing.
So when he finally got booked on URL, were you there to tell him this is a big deal? You can't. Did you put the pressure on him? Like this isn't your regular bat. Like this is a chance for you to
do that.
Yeah,
I can tell you did that to him. I can just see it in your eyes. Like you had that face. Like
exactly
no bullshit in this time.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly. I've done that maybe 2 times. One before his first URL battle,
and Ness.
Yeah. Before his battle with Ness, I was like, yo, this is the most important battle. To me, I thought that was the most important battle of his career at that point. Not only because that was where he was at, but it was because I felt like now URL at this point, they were saying, all right, let's see what he could do. They're now trying to test him. Before it was just like, all right, the zigzag battle, and it's not the same. It's now they're looking at him as something serious, as a potential investment in the future.
Right.
So I told him, like, this is and the main point I really wanted to stress to him, I'm like, yo, there's going to be thousands of people who have no fucking clue who you are. This is like you're brand new right now on this stage.
Right.
So, you got to take that opportunity. You can reinvent yourself.
I'm gonna ask you both the same question. Were you concerned if his style was going to translate, and were you concerned if was your style going to translate and fit well with the URL crowd?
I mean, me, I wasn't, because they needed that. They need his style, something refreshing. Like I feel like it's refreshing. It's something new. But not only is it just like anyone could tell jokes, so it's not just that. I feel like Lex has a different caliber because he could be serious if he wants to, and he could back up his shit. So there's a weird dynamic that you're gonna get because and to me, I had a feeling he's already well liked in New York. Most of his fans and his support is in New York, so it was like I thought it was gonna be what he needed. He needed to battle on that stage instead of King of the Dot. I feel like he wasn't appreciated on King of the Dot at all.
I feel like a lot of battles get undervalued on King of the Dot. Like you know the work ethic is there. You and your opponent can have a really great battle, but sometimes it just falls on deaf ears, and fans just like let it slide by, and I hate that. But it's just reality of the way things are.
That's how I feel about E. Farrell versus Mad Flex.
Right.
That's so crazy, and like no one,
Right.
A lot of good battles do get lost.
I mean, I was a little nervous on. This is what made me nervous. I wasn't nervous on if they were gonna like me in the room. because I already went to We Go Hard and I spit a full like Naruto scheme and they loved it. You know what I mean? Like, and they loved it. So like, you know, it's anime. All their names rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wasn't worried, and I would go to some URL events and I'd get like a lot of love from fans and staff members and other battlers. So I wasn't really nervous about in the room. Connecting to what you said before, I was nervous that when it comes out is if the internet isn't like me. If Smack fans, if his 800,000 subscribers go, I don't like this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was worried about. And the reason being is, you know, I had a We Go Hard battle versus Gaddafi Green, and once they were, you know, gonna start booking me, Beasley or B City, somebody made them put my Gaddafi Green battle on URL.
Yeah.
Right. So when that happened, well, first the thing with Beasley was who I was gonna battle next, and he wants to see how the internet takes to me.
Right.
Right. So now I'm nervous because the internet has never taken.
Yeah, I was
good
about to
me.
say that. So like, by the retation, you're already like,
I'm done.
It's over. It's over.
He's like, yeah, we'll see how YouTube likes you. I'm like, oh, great. You know what I mean? Like, because they've never liked me.
Right.
So when my Gaddafi battle dropped, they loved me. They loved me, and some of the biggest comments on it, because there's a clip going viral from there right now. It's got like 500,000 views on YouTube.
Wow.
And I mean, on Facebook, and it's a Naruto line. It's the Itachi thing. So. No, after that I wasn't. Once they were like, "What? We got a kid that's rapping about Naruto, Gnome Fight. You know, put him on Gnome. You know what I mean? Put him on Gnome. We don't care. You know." So, I think this. So I wasn't nervous. I think the zigzag thing, which me and Paul had a little debate about, where it was like, "Don't fucking battle these fucking guys." You know what I mean? I'm like, but I have to. You know what I mean? Like, trust the process. You know. And it really came down to like, I think they wanted to know if I was going to fold under the pressure of this is URL. Now what are you going to do?
Right.
And I did.
Yeah, I feel like they did it in stages. You know.
You know what?
They're smart. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. Absolutely.
You know what was my biggest takeaway from the zigzag battle? When you finished the first round, he tried to cut you off, and you said, "Don't cut me off because I'm kicking your ass" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like had everybody like, "Oh, he's talking his shit."
Right.
And it's like he's not just joking around. Like he can
That's
really get
what I was
competitive.
saying, yeah.
Right.
That moment, like you won the battle after that round.
Right.
For me, at least, like you sealed the deal. Right.
It's crazy how little things like that matter in battles, right?
No,
like it's the stuff that you didn't prepare.
Yeah, absolutely.
That really means the most.
And you can never really know what lines are going to hit and what lines doesn't hit. Every MC says it like they prepare for this line to hit and it doesn't. And the build-up hits and they're like, what the fuck? I didn't expect that. Threw me off. Like one of my favorite lines on it, it was like, I like Tupac since Lego, so I'm thugging on them. I love that line. For me, when I was watching it.
You can't predict what kind of crowd is going to be there. You know, a line can hit in one crowd and not in another crowd, and you don't know what kind of people are going to show up.
When I saw the battle,
you know? So
I paused it.
You can never say that in your head, like,
right.
You don't know who's in that room.
Shots could be $3 that night, and the place could be turned. You know what I mean?
Right. I paused the video at that line, and I'm like, wait, this isn't even the punch.
Right.
Like, and I started reacting to it. I'm like, let's keep going. But that little your demeanor there just showed a lot, and I think that's kind of why later down the line, I remember you had an interview where you said Enos wanted to battle you.
Yeah.
I think those little things kind of show battlers like, hey, he has style. And in this world of battle rap, which is oversaturated, because you guys are league owners, so you guys know it's oversaturated. Right. If you're creative and you're original, you're already like winning the battle in battle rap because of how many people sound the same. And
you're winning half the battle by just having your own approach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then when the ENS battle came about, it was at the Combine.
Right.
How was that? Because that was another legend you grew up watching, you had a lot of respect for.
Dude, Enes, you know what was crazy?
And I seen clips, because I didn't go. I seen clips. There's like clips of like his verse, his clips of your verse. You got the cadence Enes that was rapping. and
I got one of the best Enes's ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, he went a little bit over the time limit for me. I was like, oh, this motherfucker's trying to kill me out here, bro. He really wanted to put me down. But, God rest his soul, PH, man. Like, what really always kills me with this Enes battle was when I was young, me and PH used to talk about Enes and Solomon, because that's one of the first battles I watched when I found out about, like, battle rap is a thing now. Because I went from, like, Smack DVD to, like, Reed Dollars to then there was nothing. I stopped watching it.
Yeah, there was a little weird time period where there was no smack.
Right.
Grind Time was just forming, so we had like only like the WRCs,
Right,
and little DVDs.
I didn't
in
watch that
between.
stuff. I mean, I got hold of like Solomon and Thesaurus on the street.
Right.
But that was still around like the Fight Club days.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
So yeah, there was that like weird phase where I stopped watching because I didn't know there was anything anymore. So I got put on. One of the first battles I watched was Iron Solomon and ENOS, and I was like, boy, Solomon is a animal. He murdered him. Diddy dum diddy do. I was like, this is crazy. And PH would be like, man, you're dumb as hell. ENOS won that battle.
I had ENOS winning that battle too.
Right, but as a kid, I was like, nah, no way. What the
Right.
fuck are you talking about, right?
Right.
No way. Solomon killed him. So then I get set up with Ness. I start watching it, and I'm like, shit, Ness won this battle. I think I had to grow up to understand that Ness won that battle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the first thing I thought was, PH, man, you were right, man. He did win that battle. You know? We debated about it for years, dude. But yeah, I was kind of worried because I watched Enos and Sirius Jones, they battled right before I battled Ness.
You got a better Enos than Sirius Jones did.
Yeah, that wasn't a good battle at all. I was like, damn, Ness is gonna sleep on me. This is gonna suck. And no, he spazzed out. See, I was nervous about the Combine thing because, you know, Yakman's never thrown an event before.
So you don't know if it was gonna be organized or not.
It wasn't.
Mm.
I knew it wasn't. I know. Listen, it was a birthday party with battles at it. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I know what's going on. He loves battle rap. He wants battles at his birthday. Cool. That's awesome. But I also know it's the biggest battle of my life, and it needs to be, you know,
Respected.
Not respected. Just well, yeah, respected, obviously, but like just coordinated right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when we got there, it was a fucking disaster, man. I mean, there was a good amount of people, maybe like 120 people, 150 people, but people were battling. Everyone was talking.
I had a hard time paying attention to the battles. I had a hard time focusing on.
How was the Combine? In
Not
your
good.
experience? No.
I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest.
I think the system is good. Just maybe it wasn't executed right.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't executed right.
I mean, it was a test run, so I don't really want to judge the whole structure of it behind the test run of it. Mm-hmm. But you know, I knew it was gonna be a shit show because it's just never been done before, and the person doing it has never coordinated an event before. But he's passionate about it. He, you know, everyone on the Combine, he wanted to shine still. He just doesn't throw events. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, it takes time to figure out how to do things properly. You know, if you don't have the right team, or you know,
it takes a certain dynamic to control a crowd of like 120, 150 people, and a dude with a microphone going, "Shut up!" ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So from jump, just from experience, I know that, you know, it was on a stage. So like stage battles, they give off this vibe like you're watching this, you know, show that was choreographed for your entertainment. So people are up there watching battlers they've never seen on a stage before, and they're not into it like that.
Right.
You know, it's because you're making them look like something that they're not. So the second I went there, I was like, listen, pull everybody off the stage, get on the floor, let's move the cameras, let's make this a pit. I told the whole room I came from. Where did I tell them I came from?
I don't know, somewhere.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I just flew 12 hours from New Zealand. I didn't. I just know that they'll listen. You know what I mean? I just came from New Zealand.
One time it was Croatia. One time
it's crowd control,
in the
man.
background, someone said, "Oh, he came from Croatia."
Yeah. There's a girl at the bar.
So you're just gonna throw your way for everything. You're like, I'm gonna throw.
Oh yeah, I told that guy my name's Eric when we came in. I did do that. You know, I do, but yeah, I told him what's it called? I was like, listen, get everybody on the floor. Told everybody I'm from New Zealand. Hold it down. 12-hour flight. I'm not about to waste no bars. And they did. One girl in the background was like, New Zealand's really far. Shh. You know? Somebody put up a post in the iBattle group the next day, like, if Lex can come from New Zealand, you can't no-show to your battles.
Right, yeah. Somebody was like, yo,
but you know what?
I'm inspired. If Lex can come all the way from New Zealand,
you can take an Uber to your battle.
You have no excuse for not showing up.
But let it be known, this shows the community, because if they were conscious, they would realize that you were at a battle event the night before.
Right.
Hosting probably, right?
Right. Yeah. Pay-per-view.
Well, see,
it was live.
That's another dynamic, though. Like, is there anyone on his level competing that's also doing what he's doing on the business end of it, you know, in terms of organization and running a league.
There's only a handful of battle rappers that like are owners, co-owners of leagues and battle.
Oh, John John's so
John
lucky,
John,
man.
Arsenal,
He has
yourself.
so many famous friends, man. I don't have no
That's what-
famous
so
friends.
that's
Anybody else? That's three. That's all I
that-
can think of.
That's what I'm saying. That's another dynamic, and you know,
Well, they got some in the
Steams,
they got some in the UK.
of course.
You know,
Erg for a while.
it's a rare class though. Is
Yeah.
what I
well,
mean,
people
you know?
from Don't Flop opened their own leagues after it fell apart. Like, shout out to my man Danny Jack. He has Code Red Culture out there, which is killing it. You know, they just dropped like a bunch of fire battles. Shots to Rebel versus Gemini being one of
That
them.
was a good battle.
So yeah, he does it very well. You know, but like I said, they have the Unilad help. You know, I need famous friends. For real, like Redman needs to reach out and Method Man and just give me a hand because John got a bunch of them.
You got connects.
Maybe football players be at his events and shit.
So you know we're talking about battling and owning a league. Let's segue a bit to like iBattle. You guys tell me what's it like to have the talent that you guys have, and how difficult is it to go out there and find this talent?
This guy is a magician. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and say like things happen. Like this guy finds people. I don't know how. I really don't.
I watch a lot of battle rap.
Yeah. Well, I do know how, but I'm just saying that the frequency that it happens, that he finds quality people, and the frequency at which he books them, like a first-time person that will be good, it's crazy.
I do one thing that nobody will do. You know what that one thing is?
Watch the battles with the least amount of views.
No. When
Oh.
people send you battles, I watch them.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that say, "Watch my battle," and
Everybody.
and doesn't get.
He'll
I
be
go,
up
"All
at
right."
like 6 o'clock in the
Cool.
morning though watching
Word.
battles. So,
Word.
Yeah.
How do you have the ear for battle rap talent to know this person could be good?
Because if I don't want to turn it off right away, then I don't, I give them 16 bars into their first.
Okay.
Even if they're not hitting hard, if this is what I say when I battle, I don't want to go out there giving my gems out and shit. But like, I go for character first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like writing can be learned and performance can be learned, but personality can't. You know what I mean? So like, if I see like, I saw this kid Nonch, right? Who he used to trash talk me on the internet bad, but I didn't care. I don't know, He's like this is gonna sound like I'm talking shit, but he's like a little weird looking kid. You know what I mean? He raps weird, and it just that stuff can't be taught. You know what I'm saying? Like you stick out in the room like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I can tell that you're passionate about growing and expanding your craft and working on the writing and working on the performance, I'll invest my time into you, man. You know, some people have that, thing about them. They got that, I don't want to say it factor because it's so played out, but the opposite of it factor.
You know what it is too? I feel like with him, he knows he's doing it. He knows exactly what he wants to look for in terms of booking and what he wants. So he's also able to project into the future in a sense of like, and then gauge the direction of where he wants things to go. So he'll book a battle that's like, he'll come to me with it. Like Bubba Ford and Athena, I was like, are you sure that's a good idea? I'm like, I had to think about it for a second. You know, when he first told me, I couldn't digest it. But to him, he already knew what it was going to become. It took me a day or two before I was like, all right, I get it. It's a good idea. You know what I mean? So he's doing it every day. That's why, it's easier for him to look at somebody, I feel like, and be like, he knows.
So then now the terms of like organizing the event, like talk a little bit about the difficulty of like it is to manage it all. Like while you're actually like, okay, we got this card, we found the talent, we put them together. Now the day comes and we have 10 battles on this card. How are we managing this?
Oh man,
The
worst
day of
part
the
is
event is
getting
tough.
everybody.
Yeah,
People got landing at the airport.
It's also like, I know we had a problem for a long time with half of the card showing up.
Right.
Like on early and half of the card being late. Like the whole left side of the card is not. There's no one to battle anyone.
Is there
Everyone's
no
opponent is
like discipline where it's like if you're late you're not battling? It's it.
We try to. It's a tough line because if everybody does that, we're gonna have no event.
Right.
You're gonna tell everybody to go home.
But from being a battler, like I know the aspect of like, all right, my battle's in an hour, but like only 2 of my friends are here. I got 4 more people coming. Like, what do I do? Leave without
I
my...
get that. Yeah. Sure.
So,
I get that.
It sucks, but we prepare for it. we prepare for that to happen. You know?
So you say the event's at a certain time and knowing it's going to start later.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
I'm
Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
That's battle rap.
Right. I'm late.
Do you feel, because when I see like the iBattle card, I see like the trap, when I see a couple of these leagues, like more developmental leagues, they have like 10, 12 battles a night. You don't think that's too much for somebody coming in to listen to new talent?
I do. Yeah, I do think it's too much. You know, sometimes I found from my own personal experience that like 8 battles is like the most I could tolerate. And you know, 8 is like super comfortable for me in terms of absorbing the content of all the battles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And especially how long they're gonna be if they drag on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think the matchmaking makes a big difference of it, because I think you could do 12 if it was 12 completely different types of matchups.
You know,
and throughout the day, like you go there 2 and then it's over at midnight.
It depends. I've come to like a shorter, more compact event. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely more. I like 6 card, 6 battle cards. I feel like that's the perfect amount. But I think you could do them all day if it's the right battles.
I mean, like at the end of the event, I like when I can go home and I can remember every battle and categorize each person clearly.
Right.
You know, for me, that's the most enjoyable thing. Otherwise, it's hard to take all that in. But I feel like I'm missing that information. You know what I mean? I guess it's different for me. As a fan, it's whatever. But as a league owner, I feel like every time I'm at an event, I need to be watching. It doesn't matter who it is. I need to be paying attention. You know, it's just like, so that's how this has to go, you know?
When do you guys go home? The MC comes, they spit their rounds, they leave. When do you guys go home?
Oh, when my girlfriend gets the angriest. That's when I go home.
When everyone's at the airport and on their way back.
Right.
2 days later or a day later, however long it takes to drive everyone back and forth from JFK or LaGuardia, Newark.
Right.
You know?
Because with our league, like, everybody comes from different places. Like, last one we had, like, Boston, Indiana, Kansas, Chicago, LA. Like, they're not really local guys. So
I
was realizing after a while, there's a lot of the guys that come in aren't just from New York or like Jersey. Like,
Most of them.
A lot of things we did was like, we have to scramble and come, be hands on with things. So it's like everything that we were doing evolved from something we didn't really expect to do. I feel like if you really like the whole story going all the way back when like he mentioned beast mode. He battled in beast mode one time in Toronto, and it was like a random thing. He was like, hey, Mars, you want to take me to this battle, this and that? Long story short, I drive up there with him. I at that time, I wasn't aware of the battle rap scene the way that it was developing. What was it like? This was 2011 or 2012?
Yeah, I think we went to a King of the Dot event like the week after.
Yeah. So
all
that
that's
happened.
The first one you went to, no?
Yeah. It was Blackout, but I know it was Pat Stay versus Math Hoffa.
Right, and Disaster and Arcane. That's when it got packed out. It was like 1,600 people.
So that was my first real event.
When Drake went.
Yeah, like I knew what he was doing. I would go to local shit. I think I went to like You and Paranormal, a few other things at that point, but it was still early in his career.
Yeah.
So then when I went there, and Beast Mode was like the first eye-opening thing. The way that whole shout out to Beast Mode because they're the shit.
Right.
And the way Chris Kane operates that whole league was inspiring to me. Before battle rap, I was already involved in music.
Definitely the blueprint word.
And so hip hop is real important to me, And when I seen how they did that, I was kind of like, why don't we have something like this in New York? I'm like, I'm in Canada, and this is like the most hip hop shit I've ever seen. Just the vibe. I'd never experienced anything like that.
We did have one. The draft was a lot like that, but after my paranormal battle, they maybe only had 1 or 2 more events, and then they shut down. So I kind of like, from what we have now is like the mix of like the beast mode blueprint with the people that I came up with in the draft and new guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it's kind of like a weird.
Well, a lot of weird shit was happening in hip hop at that time. I feel like I was making music for a while, so from 2008 I started performing. In that 4 years, a lot of shit changed in the terms of like social media and Twitter. So the way everything operated just totally changed, and I feel like that fall of the way that hip hop was going and like the underground type underground and commercial really became segmented into two things, and I feel like when that happened, it made a split for battle rap to take what hip hop was, that middle piece, to take all those fans and become like what hip hop in the '90s was. That what it represented is now not in that. It's not in the music anymore. It's now in battle rap. You understand? So I feel like I saw all that take place. I was involved in the music, and then losing that, and then finding that energy or that spirit kind of in Toronto, is what made me be like, yo, what the fuck?
Can I ask you, when you was watching it all transition, it happened so fast.
Very.
At any moment before it all blew up, did you ever think it would be where it's at today?
You want to know something? I did.
Really?
I kind of did, and I'll tell you this.
Everybody always says they never saw this coming.
Nah, this is what you mean, battle rap?
Yeah.
Oh, that early? No, but as I didn't right away because I was unfamiliar. But after about a year or two, and when we expanded and went into Beast Mode New York, I started thinking and realizing and being able to see like exactly what I told you. Because I feel like that gap of hip hop was gone. Like it created that space for me, and I was like, and as I saw it coming and seen like people like him, what his generation was doing, and then I thought about how YouTube was working and how social media was working, and it all kind of started clicking to me. So I'm like, let me stick around, see how this works, and then little by little it became more and more serious. After 3 years of Beast Mode, we were kind of ready to start our own thing, and like ibattle just like almost in a sense fell in our lap. We got lucky at the time that we wanted to take it to the next level, and now like we all agreed like, hey, let's get serious about this and actually.
And it's been now 5 years.
Well, we've only been in control of ibattle for 1 year.
But the league's been.
But we were Beast Mode New York. Yeah, it's been a 5-year process pretty much.
Right.
Between from Beast Mode and Beast Mode New York, and now this is pretty much our 5th year.
So a lot of the battlers that I've met that's battled on ibattle, and I speak to them and say, what's it like out there? And they all give me the same answer of like they feel it's like a family out there. Like they feel very accepted by everybody there. They like the community, they like the vibes, right? And I seen an interview when somebody asked about the ibattle history to you, and they basically said ibattle is a league for battlers by battlers. Describe to me what it's like to create the perfect vibe for a good battle environment, because honestly, you can have two of the best performers, the best artists with the best rounds, but if the environment isn't right, then nobody's gonna care for the battle.
Man, like that came from Beast Mode.
Yep,
man.
I was gonna say the same thing. It really did. That's how I learned that from Beast Mode. That actually made me want to do the shit. The way Beast Mode operated, it was everyone leaves their ego at the door, and I feel like we carried that on. Like a lot of those customs that's like unsaid, unseen shit about how you carry yourself.
Right.
That's what makes ibattle, but we get that from Beast Mode. Like
I think one of the biggest downfalls of ibattle back in the day was that it was kind of similar to the way that we had it now, but the battlers weren't friends. So there was a lot of hate in it. So like let's say you had 30 battlers in a crowd and you were battling, they don't want to cheer for you. They want to be above you on the flyer. So when you're up there wilding, you have 30 people in the crowd, screw face, pretend like you're not bugging out. And that was a big downfall in ibattle footage in maybe like 2014, 2015. And, once Logic blessed us with it and we were able to incorporate what we had with Beast Mode, it's not like we injected a family thing into it. It's just who we were at the time,
That's how we knew how to do shit. That's how we had fun at events, at Beast Mode events. So we just kind of like carried that over and we're like, all right, well, this is how they did it and this is how it was successful. That's what made us fuck with it, so we're gonna keep that up.
When people fly out, we don't put them in hotels. Like they stay in our crib, like, you know what I mean? Like they stay with us, we party the whole time, It's really weird to see like Megadeth and Prez Mafia taking shots together in the corner. It's not you know what I mean? But that's why the crowd is like that.
Yeah. And when it comes to like setting up battle events, it's a skill to know what the environment needs to look like. And it looks like you guys have that kind of skill. And it took time for you guys to build that, because you said it yourself in the ENOS battle, I ain't battling on the stage, bring everybody down. Because you was aware of, we need the right environment, because I'm not wasting this opportunity. I'm not wasting this material. I'm not wasting these guys' time.
Right.
And I think of that all the time, because I see it like, I forgot what league was it. They had a battle, right, with a bunch of big names on it, and it was outdoors. And you would think a battle outside, like, oh, it's kind of like throwback. They had Big K, they had Verb, they had Cortez, Danny Myers, and it just the battles just wasn't fitting for the environment.
Right.
But the bars were there.
Well, it's
The
because
MCs were there.
You took these battlers who are perceived as like huge deals, and you put them in a place that's not really that big of a deal, and you threw your own environment off. You know, like there's been times where I've seen battlers, they put the wrong people on Born Legacy. Kids that have only battled in like 20, 30 people rooms, and then you throw them in front of 600 people, and they're like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing, but in reverse. You throw somebody that's used to like 2,000 people in front of 30 people, right, and their delivery's wrong. They're looking into a sea of people that aren't there with their delivery. So.
And not many people know this. Not many people understand to create the right environment.
Right.
Because if so, everybody will be throwing perfect events.
Right.
It's also like the matchups he puts together on the card. I feel like they're not haphazard. He's planning the whole event like from beginning to end.
What does haphazard mean?
Like random. Like,
all right.
It's not like you're just like, I'm gonna here's a matchup,
It's like an ongoing thing.
He's
like, it's like this. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that?
You do the matchmaking.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm asking you. Do you do the matchmaking?
Yeah.
What's the thought process of like, oh, I'm putting this guy against this guy. This guy can handle it. This is a test for this. Like, where do you?
I mean, for the most part, it comes down to like, all right, which battles would never happen unless I set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sometimes I do really stupid shit. Like I'll take people with really weird names and put them against each other.
Like
I won't watch the footage.
Chicken Bob and Guacamole Randolph.
Right. Like I won't watch the footage. I'll put them together and whatever happens. Like on their crazy names. Like that's one thing.
Wow.
So that's a surprise factor is always fun. And
wait, don't give away all your tricks.
Right.
and blank.
Right.
You get the name trick. That's about it. Go test that one out.
It's funny you told
I
me
will
the
say
name trick.
this.
I've actually heard about the name trick. Like, oh, we battle because our names are like this.
Just see what happens.
But that's how we got Jizz Brown, man, and now he's one of the best in the league, man. I just set him up a co-main event battle right before we got here.
Who are some of the people you guys are most proud of coming out of your league and having really big success? I know it's all of them, but who's a couple guys that's like, wow, this was special. Like it stood out to you.
I'm very, very proud of Eddie I.
Eddie, yeah.
That's like,
he had a great battle.
That's my guy right there. If we tell you the hilarious story of how we first found Eddie I, he was like at an open mic. He was 16 years old.
He had an afro and he rolled up to me on a skateboard and said, hey, I saw you on YouTube.
Yeah.
He was like 15 years old, man, as my girlfriend's fighting with me.
No, but the best part about it was after that encounter, there was an open mic, and we were
outside.
We were outside, and we heard somebody, and we were like, what the fuck's going on? We peek in, and it was little Eddie I with his afro, and we're like, what the fuck?
He rolled up to this hip-hop show in a jewelry store. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And he showed up by himself on a skateboard and was like, I'm here to rap. It's like 15 years old.
And you guys were just like, all right, let's see what you got.
No, we didn't even know. We were actually outside when he started rapping. We
had to sneak Eddie in.
We were like, see you, kid. All right, cool.
The first couple battle events we threw, we had to sneak Eddie in. He was too young to get in.
Wow.
Like when Eddie's second battle versus Hype, we had to sneak him into to his own battle.
That's funny.
At the Cup because it was 21 and up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's come a long way.
Yeah, so I think that has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
He's kid's mad talented. He listens. You know what I mean? So
Franchise being my second one.
Nice, yeah.
I love watching that fucking kid come up. Go boy, man, I love it. There's a
few people. There's a lot of people right now too that I'm real excited about watching their careers. You know, King Jables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first time I seen him, I was already excited.
People forget that like. All right. You guys are cut from the cloth of like you understand battle rap from 2008 and below, where like there wasn't footage, it was in the streets, people were battling, boom, 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 left and right every other day, right? So when we see these battlers, they came up from this era we're like, wow, they're so polished. But we forget they battled maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 times. We just never seen it.
Right.
So battlers now, it takes them about 10, maybe 20 battles before they finally get their voice.
Right.
And people don't ever really want to give those battlers the chance. Like, they don't want to invest into it or see potential and watch it grow.
Right.
It takes its time. And we just aren't used to, like, well, when is he going to pop? Well, you know, Calico didn't pop right away. He had plenty of battles before you even seen him on camera. He had battles when he was 14, 15 years old. It's lost somewhere in somebody's house, you know?
Right. Sometimes they pop up. Sometimes see him, like that Tay-Rock one where he's like 16 in the store.
Think about this, right? Just recently, there was a debate, right, of who was the champion of the year, who was the battle rap of the year, Tay-Rock and Red. Think back, right? Look how quick time flies. 7 years ago, the first paid URL event, no one won. The first big stage event. O-Red and Tay-Rock were the openers of that event.
Right.
So it takes 7 years later,
Right.
and they build their legacy, and now they're almost down the line. It's like some of the greatest to ever have done it, or the greatest to walk the planet
But you
battling.
also got to be consistent. People forget. It's the other thing. It's like I parallel it to music a lot because that's how my brain works, even though it's way different. But it's at the same time, it's like, think about like a one-hit wonder or somebody that's on the radio that was popular 3 years ago.
Yeah.
If they don't stay consistent and they don't remind you what their name is and you're not hearing new shit, then you're not going to give a fuck.
Strategy has
You know?
a lot to do with it too. Like you got to pick the right battlers to battle on the right events and pick the right approach against them.
Timing.
You know? So yeah, I mean, you could have the right approach at the right event and just be battling the wrong guy.
You have 50 battles, and you were just...
I have 50 released battles.
Released, cataloged.
Right.
You have 50 battles cataloged, and I don't want to say you're just now being, like, popular, because I've known you for years, but let's just say to the casual fan who doesn't do the homework like I do, they're just now like, oh, wow, this guy, Lex, he's here, he's there.
Right.
It took 50 battles for you to, like...
Right.
To pop to the casual listener.
I actually use him as an example all the time when I'm talking to some of the younger guys, and I have to say that to them. I'm like, yo, you know, Lex has, I think at the time it was like 40 battles, 45 battles. I don't know. You know, for the past year I've been saying, and like, I tell them you got to be patient. It's not. Even if you get to that level quickly, if you don't do it the right way, you're going to get knocked right off. You're not going to know how to maintain that ground. You're not going to have the key, like the keys to maintain that ground the same way. You know what I mean? Someone will come tear your fucking head off real fast.
I'm not a big fan of her, but I use this I use her as an example a lot. But Jane Lynch, the actress, you know, she was acting since she was 12 years old, and she didn't get a really good role until she was 40-something. You know, we're talking like 20, 30 years in a profession being swept under the rug until one day, hey, you put you in 40-year-old virgin. Now she's a multimillionaire from Glee. You know what I mean? I don't even fucking watch Glee. I don't even know what it's about, but I know that she made $10 million off of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what if she would have quit at 32? What if she was 32 and was like, you know what? I've been doing this 20 years. I'm not going to do it anymore. She would have never made that $10 million.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's also about passion, too. You know what I mean? It says people care. There's people that care about the shit because they care about it, and there's people that care about it because they think it's going to be a means to some kind of money.
The money grab won't get you nowhere.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the money grab.
That's really what it comes down to. At the core of it, and that's how it's easy for us to decide who to bring on the ibattle and who not to. It's so easy. It's like, you know, you can tell. It's night and day.
I can tell who's here because they want to be popular and who's here because
they give a fuck.
They want to beat everybody else in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can see it in some of the people. Yeah. You know, they got the fire in them.
So reflecting back, right, because we started this whole conversation, I wanted to like learn about you as to where you gain the resilience, because like a lot of your battles don't even have 10K views, but you probably don't give a fuck, and you just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, right? And I read this letter you wrote, or maybe it was like a post, and I can't find it anywhere. I wish I had it so I could read it and put the quotes. So I loved a lot about it. You wrote like a little tribute post to PH.
Right.
And I want to know, how much of an influence was he during those development moments of your career, not just as an MC, but as a person as a whole? Because to be in battle rap, you got to mentally be stable. Because this isn't a stable industry.
Yeah.
So your head's got to be on right.
He didn't give me much advice, but he gave me advice that I give to the people in ibattle, which is I can't tell you how to be you. I can tell you need to. I don't know what's gonna make you great.
Mm-hmm.
Because what makes us great is that we're different. So I can't tell you how to be different. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how to structure your rhymes, what to talk about. Just do what you do, man. You'll fall into place. You know? So, I mean, that's...
Did it make sense when you first heard it at the time when he told you this?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember I wrote something. And then I said to him, I was like, oh, man, why didn't you teach me that? You could have told me that I could have done this last year and I would have known this, you know? And he was like, I can't tell you how to be you. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I can't tell you how you could learn that. I think it was like I wrote a line in a certain... I didn't write it for wordplay. I wrote it to say it a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, you never taught me I could write to perform in a certain way. And he was like, I don't even know what performing is with you. You know what I mean? Like, what you don't even choreograph how you're going to say something because back in the day, even still today, I don't write any of my stuff down. I do it all in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I wouldn't practice how my mannerisms were going to be. But my whole thing was, oh, you could have told me I could have practiced like that. He goes, no, I couldn't have.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, you are going to learn to be you on your own. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how to do that. There's no advice that I could tell you that's going to help, you know? Other than stay at it. You know what's up. You know? PH was a big influence on me as far as, like, keeping it moving and, like, oh, there's an event tonight. Come get seen. Showing faces 90% of the game. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to play video games. And he'd be like, I'm going to come knock on your door and come get you. You know, like, as far as, like, that's probably the biggest thing he did for me, man, is he made sure that I didn't slack. And I was always at events, and I was always being a sponge and taking it in, you know?
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to PH, man. He's a legend, man.
Rest in peace, JR and Sean Price.
Yeah, man. And I knew he had a lot of influence on you, and not just you, a lot of people in the game.
Yeah.
And then you were also Team Homie.
Yeah.
I'm repping Team Homie's shirt.
Yeah, shout out to XL, man.
Yeah. How did that... Were you always Team Homie? Like, when did the transition to that?
They asked me to be Team Homie after my paranormal battle, and I said no.
You said no?
Yeah, like, when I was in the draft league, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they were like, oh, they're scouting you for Team Homie. They're scouting you for Team Homie. And that's when it was like, you know... at its most prestige point. This is when, like, Swave just murked QP, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, most prestige point.
Oh, man.
It was bad. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get popular and to be like, oh, it's because he's Team Homie. He's got 30 people behind him.
I get what you're saying.
You know?
But that's interesting that you said no, because, like, this was a time period where there was no formula to be Swave yet.
Nah.
There was no, like, it was a question, like, how do you beat this guy? Like, bars don't work, aggression doesn't work, talking to him doesn't work, joking on him doesn't work.
Right.
Being more lyrical doesn't, how do you beat him?
Right.
There was a time where it was like he was almost invincible. Like,
completely unfuckwittable.
Yeah.
And
so you chose to say, nah, like, you may be the top guy right now, but I don't want to join forces with you. I still want to do this my own way.
It was like PH and Penn too, and even Moneybags, because me and Money came up together with the same age.
Shouts to Moneybags. I had him on the show a couple weeks ago.
And Murda, homie. But you know, yeah, Murda was around back then too. Murda was like opening up cards back then.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Murda's been around, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you know, I said no at a time that anybody would have fucking paid mad money to be in Team Homie, you know? I just couldn't.
And Team Homie's a family. Like, they're not just like a rap crew. Like, I've always heard it in interviews. I told Murda and Moneybags, I'll tell you too, you probably agree with me. Mm-hmm. Every Team Homie member goes, oh, we chill together. We're hanging out all the time. Right. I don't believe that. You guys are artists. Like, you guys have crazy schedules. You live in this borough, you live in that. How the fuck you guys chill together all the time? Like, it's not high school where I'm going to see you on the daily.
Right.
Or college, I'm going to
free my boy Ciroc. Like, we were with Ciroc every day.
But Jay Murda, I invited him to the show, and he was like, yo, I'm chill with Moneybags. I'm going to bring him up. I'm like, you guys really do chill all the time.
Yeah. I mean, Nakaya messaged me the other day, like 3 a.m. He's like, yo, what's your address? I'm like, yo, he's a shot. It is really tight like that, man. Polo, I see Polo all the time, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you finally said yes, and you joined.
Well, PH passed. And PH wanted me. When back then it was like kind of PH's pull that he wanted me to be in Team Homie. And after he passed, and I was running the league, and people kept bringing him up to me because he was known for doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? Where I was like booking and molding talent. And they're like, "Oh, it's just like PH. It's just like PH." So at one point, I went and I hit Sarah Connor and Penn and all them, and I was like, "Listen, I think I'm gonna do it this year. If that's okay with everybody, And they, of course, the blessing was right there.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. That's big, and that from there on out was just history.
Right. I mean, we were so close. Like, they offered me good money to battle XL at Massacre.
But you couldn't do that.
He's Hami. I wasn't even Team Hami at the time.
Oh, you wasn't yet?
No.
Wow.
No. I was like, he's Hami. I'm not battling him. They're like, you're not Team Hami. And I was like,
You're like, yeah, but no.
Yeah, right. Right. Like, whatever. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but but yeah, it was against the rules for me at the time.
Fair enough, man. So let's even take it farther back. Why'd you pick your rap name? I want to know, like, what was the whole mindset, the story? Like, when you said, this is what I'm gonna go by, were you like, nah, nobody's gonna take me serious, or were you like, this is gonna be my gimmick, this is gonna be my theme?
When I started battling, like, I got into a couple not real rap battles. Shout out to my friend Sean O'Shawn. He battles in ibattle now. We used to battle when we were kids. He was actually 10 times better than me when we were kids. Now he battles in ibattle. But when I started battling for real, I was in Job Corps. And, like, we had a week to prepare for our battle. So I'm kind of was built for the format, where they were like, all right, this guy said he was going to kill you, so you battle in the cafeteria on Thursday, 1 round. No, there's no time limit. Whoever wins, and you guys bet whatever you want. We'd bet, like, oatmeal cream pies, cigarettes, nickel bags, Capri Suns,
and
video games.
You're one of those writers that writes probably a week or two before the battle. You don't think about this guy. You don't think about the guy for months and months and months. Yeah. You do it when it's close.
Right, the juices is flowing.
For you, since you always coached him sometimes or gave him advice, does that bother you, or you let him just be his?
Nah, I know he knows what he's doing at this point.
I've always felt so like half and half about battlers like preparing so late because I just, what if life happens?
Right.
What if you just come across that block?
Life always happens.
Yeah. Right. So like.
Nah, at a certain point, it came to like I already knew like. I didn't even think twice about how his preparation process anymore. I'm just like,
but we've
prepared.
been in the car.
I'm waiting to see now how well is that going to translate.
Right.
It went from worrying about or like talking with him about his prep process or like structuring or like, certain technical shit or like just brainstorming, throwing ideas back and forth about, just about what it is. Right. To then me never thinking about that at all, about how he preps into like, all right, now how well does your prep translate? How are you executing on stage? You know what I mean? What are you doing? How are you controlling the crowd? Now my head went to that, to watching him do that instead. So I feel like I guess he may have leveled up, and that might have been like one of the signs.
You're at the point now where you're like, I don't even want to hear it. Wait, I want to go to the battle.
yeah. I don't even want to hear it. Most of the times I'm like, nah, just save it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll wait till the battle,
Yeah.
So going back to the lunch days, you was battling for oatmeal, cookies, and food and snacks.
Oh, that Red Dead Revolver. I won Red Dead Revolver.
Zebra cakes?
Nah, I don't fuck with them. We had the moon pies and we had all that. But yeah, I won Red Dead Revolver in a rap battle once for PlayStation 2. That was pretty cool. And Twilight Princess Zelda game for GameCube. I won them in rap battles.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And there was Nems winning $50,000 on a pool table. And I'm in here with my GameCube game like, yeah,
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that's how we came up. Actually, what's even crazier is my friend Malik. He's like a big Smack fan.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into him online at URL, and we used to go to Job Corps together. We actually battled over there, and I used the Mario going down the pipeline before everybody. Your girl's going down the pipe like Mario, way before anybody else said that stuff.
Right.
I said that to him, but he caught me in line at a URL event. And he was like, "Yo, yo, I've seen some of your recent battles. You're fucking killing it. And I'm in line waiting to get
in line,
URL with the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know who I am yet.
Yeah, right.
So I'm sitting there talking to him about it. And then I see him again at another Born Legacy. And this is after me and Gaddafi came out. He's like, you're doing it now. You're on Smack. Yeah, damn, but they still got you in line with me, man. I'm like, yeah, they do. You know? Yeah, they do. I was like, I'm not going to pay to get in, though. You know? But yeah, I got to wait in line. But yeah, I've run into a couple of my Job Corps friends at URL events. But yeah, that's where I came up. You know, I saw like my first real rap battle there. Like 2 dudes that didn't like each other, 200 people surrounding them, and like no time limit, no host, none of that. You know what I mean? And that sparked it. I was like, oh, I need to kill people. That was awesome. You know what I mean? Like from watching it on YouTube to seeing one for real, that was everything.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's a different feel when you finally get a chance to like when you're a young fan,
right?
And you finally see that battle up front, like the energy is just different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was, and I mean, I don't know if you know about that school, but like they kind of run it like it's a jail. You know what I mean? So like the rap battle was like a fight in the yard. You know, like all the people were running, security's running over because it's 200 people. They think it's something crazy.
Yeah,
it's just a battle, But they were breaking everybody, shut the fuck up, and they wouldn't stop. So the teacher stopped, and they stopped and watched. It was crazy.
The teacher stopped to watch.
Yeah, because they thought it was a fight, and then once they got up, they were like, "All right, you guys might as well do this instead of fighting each other." You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so because they were gonna fight, they were fighting over like who was the better rapper, you know, and they just battled. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty funny.
I don't even remember who they were.
Wow.
Just random kids. I don't know.
I feel like that at the core, that is what battle rap is. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So
absolutely. I love when it's just it's competitive enough for you, like this little shoving, disliking, you know, jattering, but never physical.
I like when it's really, really competitive and tense during the battle, and then they go have a beer at the end and crack jokes.
I love
you know
that.
What I mean,
I
to
love
me,
that.
that's why I do this. Like, I like seeing that happen. Just the dynamic of that occurring is just. It's a funny thing, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes you think about life in a weird way. Like,
It
you
makes
see
you-
how it all unfolds.
You spend all this time writing all these lines about how you hate this person.
It's months before. It's best when they don't know each other, so, and they talk shit online, and it's just watching these two strangers. You know them both.
Right.
You know how they think and how they operate, and you just kind of see it unfold, and then see how they are awkward in front of each other when they first stand in front of each other, and they're like, look the way they look at each other, and you know.
And they know they got this. They're about to say something. They have 20 to 30 different angles for you that they're gonna try to use to beat you with. You know, whether it's personal or it's you got this other thing planned that nobody's ever done before. You know, it's pretty crazy.
This is a question I've been dying to ask you. Your favorite video games, because I know there's many of them. Which are the ones you love playing and kind of got your creativity flowing whenever you start to write?
I can't rap about it because nobody's gonna get it, but I still play Warcraft Frozen Throne.
Okay.
Like, I play it by myself because people don't even play online anymore.
Wow.
So I just go and play single player. You know what I mean?
There's got to be a list.
I mean, yeah, but you asked me my favorite. I'm trying to be careful here. You know what I mean? I mean, you know,
I got to
Just gotta give you the right one.
give you the right ones.
GoldenEye.
Mm.
All right. Pokemon Blue and Red.
Oh, classic.
We gotta, you know.
Classic.
I'll just leave it at those top
You
three.
leave it right there.
I'm gonna leave it at that top three
Yeah,
because I'm gonna mess up somewhere.
There was no Final Fantasy. There was no Smash Brothers. There was no.
No, I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is in one of my top ones.
Okay.
Not one of the numbers. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Kingdom Hearts series.
I thought we were gonna go, some Zelda in there. I thought we was gonna go.
Ocarina of Time
I
is
thought we
my
was gonna
stuff.
go deep. I was waiting for the whole list of it all. Like, she pull on the scroll. Like, I'll play this game, this game, this game, this game. I'm like, I love games too. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everybody loves games. That's like when the game bars came out, like all the
Right.
video game bars. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You guys like this shit, man.
Right.
Shut up, man. You like
Right.
these Pokemon bars. Just take this shit.
Right.
Hitman Holla said a Pokemon bar. Y'all let it rock. Why can't my man say a Pokemon bar?
The best part was Enes dropping the Pokemon bars against me. I was like, you son of a bitch. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to win. You know what I mean? He did the whole, I take a Pikachu, then I electrify. My whole team moved the same way, like the electric slide. Like, he did, like, that whole thing. I was like, this guy. He had a far-fetched line against me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, motherfucker was really coming for my head, bro. For real.
That was a crazy battle. I enjoyed that shit.
I can't wait to watch it.
I enjoyed it.
For real. It was like
good.
your uncle preparing to beat you up. You know what I mean? That shit was fucked up.
What's next on the plate?
I got Ty Law next in DC.
Nice.
And I got Joe after that.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. A lot of people have been asking about you and Joe. It's finally happening. I know a lot of people like always question you about it or have mentioned it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Because you are not comfortable. You know the extent of my career. Do you think me and Joe is stupid?
I think there's better matchups for you out there.
Right. Do you think it's just because of the obvious of why they're doing it?
Who's to say? You know, I think there's a lot of matches that like it's past its peaks, past its time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can see why they push it so much. Everybody asks for it. They think this is, you know, you're gonna get this guy joking, this guy being aggressive, these two guys are white,
right?
And I get why they're trying to make it come out the way it's supposed to be, but I feel like if you don't have it in the right environment or the right timing for it, it's just not gonna.
I don't think he has the experience to stand in there, man. I mean, listen, he's good. Like, you remember how I said, like, you kind of have to have the character first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got to skip that part.
Mm.
You know, we could all punchline. I could flip the name Joe all day long. I could write 10-minute rounds.
Yeah, a lot of
half-hour.
I will say that you mentioned that a lot of the guys on your resume, whether people may perceive them as good or not,
right?
They're their own individual person. Right. Like they're like
you can get better.
Yeah,
right.
You can get better.
You can get better.
Anyone can get better at rapping.
Everybody you've battled has been pretty like you see some of these battles you have and they're like, oh, this guy's odd just like him, and it's like.
Right.
Well, they're both odd. At least you have creativity.
Right.
I like the creativity and the differentness of some battles and some matchups where instead of I'm gonna get two guys just spitting bars and.
Why do you want to watch the same battle 100 times?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Right.
really what it comes down to.
Here's my thing, like with Joe, like what I'm trying to get at is like his style is punchlining, right? I feel like my favorite. I have a top 3 punchliners. Let's just say Heartless, B Magic, E Farrell, my favorite punchliners.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to watch a punchline battle, I'm gonna watch those guys, right? I'm not gonna watch Joe. It's not the battle I'm gonna go watch if I want to see a punchline.
He still needs to work on his delivery too.
Well,
but
I don't think he's bad.
But also on some level you have to understand that there are fans that's who they will go watch. Joe. You know what I mean?
I think it's because they don't know the other people.
Right, but that's what it is. It's working in tiers. That's
right.
just generations. They're not, you know, how far are these? Some of these kids are not going to go back that far.
I'm no manager to tell somebody when to take battles or when to do how to do things. But since there was like people trying to make a little demand for you and Joe, it would have been great for you to take off just a little more, you know, have a little more battles and just let that demand just continue to build and build and build. And then it falls.
Right.
Yeah. And then it falls where it's like, hey, this hasn't happened yet.
Right.
This isn't a URL battle.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a 1 round in his hometown. So, if anything, it is setting up for something.
Okay.
You know, but
it could have been bigger than this and it could have been better managed.
Right. And to be honest, I don't think it's I think he's one of those guys that he comes and goes. He's not going to be like a me, who could be around forever and make fans and stick around because he's their own person. Joe's a come and go type of guy. You know, we've seen him. Joe's M City, man. You know, he's a fantastic. No shade on M City. He's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Like M City was a hard worker. He was a good puncher. He was a good rapper.
Young Cannon.
But he just fades away.
Right.
I think the thing that keeps Young Cannon still reminisced is his work ethic and the fact that if you really break it down, he doesn't probably have more than 3, 4, 5 losses, really.
Right.
So that's a couple of things that keep him afloat. Like, yo, this guy has the best record in battle rap.
Right.
He works the hardest,
right.
And he'll take anybody. He just hasn't gotten the look yet.
No, he's the carrot. He's no personality. That's the problem. Is there's nothing about him that stands out other than you're a great punchliner. All right, like M-City's a great punchliner, Joe's a great punchliner. You're all going to fade away at one point because you're not doing anything to stay afloat other than writing punchlines, which the other 10,000 of us can do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. that's why I concentrate my rhymes. If I have a really great punchline, I'm not going to spit another one next. Because anybody can do that all day long. I changed my I don't remember if it was maybe my last We Go Hard battle or it was Zigzag. I changed like my whole third round because I was like, this is too many punchlines. My friend was, what are you talking about? They're great. This is a great round. And I'm like, nah, man, they can get this from anybody. This isn't going to get me anywhere on URL. That's when I did the Patrick Thompson thing, where I made up a name and everyone went crazy.
A couple of your battles, you do like the Be Rabbit trick where you kind of like joke on yourself a little.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes away from them trying to come at you. And then I feel like it's just people just, I've seen some battles, right, where some people try to like joke with you. And I'm just like, that's the wrong thing to do, man. Like
Right.
this guy cracks jokes on himself and you're just not going to win that way.
Right.
I think about your grind time battle. One of my favorite lines from it was when you said, we battled on grind time and the loser had to stay here.
Yeah.
Like, we lost, so we still here. We ain't going over there.
Right.
So that makes me to believe where it's like, damn, even then, how can I counter right for this? Because if you know how to counter like opponents where it's like you can come at yourself and you diminish a whole opportunity, a whole angle that they might come with you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I've been around the block, man. Like, these guys are the same 1-2 tricks, But I will say there are people in URL right now that
would wash you.
Nah, no. I'm not going to say would wash me. But keep me on my toes. Because I understand. Like a guy like Glueezy, he's getting better.
Can we give some respect when battle rappers go on streaks? Glueezy's won his last 4 battles, and it's just like it doesn't get talked about.
He's crazy, but Snake Eyes. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are good.
Yeah, Snake Eyes is good too.
And they're improving. And they have strong personalities.
Yes.
To where people can follow them, and
Be
even if I beat you, they're gonna say you won because they like you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that is huge, underappreciated value that people have here.
On that level, it's about marketability, really.
Right.
When the URL stage it's more than just the entertainment of that battle. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's beyond that. This is a higher level. This is people's livelihoods now. You know what I mean? It's on that level.
Point being, like, they keep like marketable characters, but they're good, is what I'm trying to say too. Like, I wasn't getting that feeling at King of the Dot. Like, I mean, yeah, A Ward was like, oh, this was dope, but like, I don't, fuck, no shade because these guys are my friends, but like, I don't watch Shoddy P the way that I watch Ryda. You know what I'm saying? Ryda, I watch him and I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. You know what I mean? Ryda could stop in the middle of his round and start freestyling some of the best stuff in the battle.
Ryder has this grill when he's kind of like staring at his opponent and he's just like looking straight into their eyes right after like before setting up his punchlines.
Right.
And it's so aggressive that alone kind of like gets people like amped, like, oh, what is he gonna say next?
Right.
And that's just the presence from like the stage and like the branding that like you get when you become a URL battler.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
marketability.
I don't watch them and go, oh shit, I can get washed. But I definitely watch them and I go, damn, I could lose this if I don't try.
I gotta step my shit up. That's what
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I didn't get that at King of the Dot. Like, I wasn't like, J-Rel, oh no. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like that, bruh. But I go to board, I go to board Legacy and I see New Jersey Twerk and I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? This kid's crazy. What the fuck? He said pterodactyl and it fucking made sense. You know what I mean? Like everybody's making fun of him. They're like, he's reaching, and then it makes sense. You can't even make fun of him. You know what I mean? Like, Twerk, when I met Twerk out in D.C. or Virginia, wherever the fuck we was at, I was like, this kid is a real... He gets off the stage, he's the same guy. Trez, Gluey, Snake, Ryder, Jackboy Maine. Them boys is different. They're not like other people that I've crossed paths with in battle rap. And I've been all over the fucking world, bro. You know what I mean?
I think. Sorry to cut you off. One thing that's special about you, right, is you kind of don't care for battle rap politics, and I appreciate that because
Right.
I feel like there is some politics that we have to kind of abide by and deal with, but I respect the artist no matter what because I know how hard this shit is from like just setting up, preparing, getting there, spitting those rounds, and just finishing your battle. After that third round, you're just like, I don't give a fuck what happened. You know, you just wipe your head. You're ready to just get a drink, smoke, and just chill. Like, you don't care.
Right.
But do you feel at this point in time with the market of battle rap we have, if you're not on the URL stage, it's that much difficult to make a name for yourself? Like,
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I think at the moment right now that between them and King of the Dot.
and I hate to get into the politics talk,
right,
but like,
but I'm
even
just
on
saying,
King of the
all,
Dot,
all eyes are on the between. But I'm just saying, those two leagues. You know what I mean? Like, look at Eddie for example. You know, it was the same concept. I told Eddie pretty much the exact same thing that I was telling you when you were going to URL. I told Eddie, like, you're about to be in front of thousands of people who have no clue who you are. You know what I mean? Everything you've done up till this point don't even fucking matter. Throw that out the window. Because nobody knows you right now. You know what I mean? Same shit. So with that, having to give that advice to two different battlers in both of those leagues, so I would say, you know, that's really where it's at, where it matters. You know what I mean? That's where they're pushing. Those two leagues are spearheading our culture at the moment. You know, so you can't really.
I mean,
that, you know?
they say if it's not on Smack, it doesn't count. And to a degree, when you get up there, they're kind of right.
That's true.
And it's because in the way it's perceived in the public eye is if that wasn't on a big main stage Summer Madness card, it wasn't really that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's how I feel. That is definitely just how it's perceived.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was on the train. I came from, I did Saskatchewan, Toronto, LA, London, and South Africa. That's the tour I did. 5 cities real quick. Boom. I did one battle a week. Came back to New York, and these kids on the train had no idea who I was on the train back to my borough.
That's crazy.
So I just literally did a world tour, and they had no idea who I was. Why? Because I'm not on Smack.
It's really also that Smack's following so large, but a large percentage of that following is casual fans that only follow that. You know, it's not the same as a genuine battle rap fan. In
Beasley
my opinion.
Beasley
It's
gets
a
his
larger
artists
market, you know,
in front of the right eyes and a lot of eyes all the time. Like, you know, obviously the source list. You know, all of them were pretty much URL battlers except for like Loso. I think Loso's the only one.
Yeah, Loso's the only one.
And the reason being is they're managers.
Could we agree? And this might be controversial, but I don't give a fuck. Could we agree that Ilmac was left off that list?
The 20 battle rappers?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think he's 20 anyway.
Really?
I don't think Ilmac's that good.
I mean, 2017, he had a great year.
Yeah, you know.
The debate.
I mean, listen, I wasn't a big fan of him and Solomon's battle.
He 3-0'd him.
All right, you 3-0'd a bad Solomon, and you weren't that good either. I got 3-0'd watching it. But
but World Dom's a big card.
Mac and JC was good, though.
World Dom's a big card.
Right, I just wasn't a fan of that battle. I didn't
enough.
like
It's
Ilmac's.
It's still a win. But it's still a win.
In that battle.
It's still a win.
I was there for that battle.
Right, yeah.
You were there physically.
Yeah.
Please tell me what it was like watching those battles in World Dom 7. I would love to hear what it was like.
The event itself?
Yes, I would love to hear what it was.
It was crazy. First of all, at one point, early in the night or early in the day, when Oxy got there, he was with like 100 people. And everyone stopped because they thought there was a fight.
Wow.
Like, music stopped. People were standing on furniture looking around, and they were like, what the hell's going on? But no, it was just Oxy walking
For me personally,
into the venue with a small army.
That was my favorite event, at least my second favorite event of the year. Just because, like, when I think of Verb and B-Dot, Pass and Big K, right? Verb and Pass.
That I love that battle. That was
Verb
like
and Pass had
Which one?
They had the same.
Big K and
Pass.
And Pass.
Verb and Pass had the same position. They were vets, you know, respective legends in their areas. They're just a little washed up. They've been losing battles on a losing streak.
Right.
But when you put a battler with the right style matchup, Big K is a consistent puncher. Pass is just as aggressive and can punch. B-Dot and Verb, that's a battle of the pens.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put a battler in an element.
Eddie I and Saint Battle of the Youth.
Yeah.
Great battle too.
That's
When
why
you-
that's
when you
pretty
put
much the reason I went.
Yeah, when you put battlers in the right style matchup, they get to be in the element, and they just say, "Yo, I'm gonna do me, and let's see if you can do what I do better."
Yep.
You know, and then they feel comfortable, and you got a good verb, you got a good pass, a good big K, good B dot. Ilmac and Iron was a past prime battle. Should have happened years ago.
Right.
Should have happened years ago, but
Arcade and Caustic, the same thing.
yeah. But overall, I love that event, and going back to it, I still think Ilmac had a good year. He beat Chilla Jones, one of the best pens in battle rap. Beat Iron Sol. Even if they're not entertaining, they're wins.
Right.
And him and JC was a great battle.
Right.
I was there for that.
And I ended up having beaten JC.
You haven't beaten JC?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. My battler of the year, though, man.
Who you had? I mean, I would love to hear, because this is. I first off, I love that this is
I
happening.
have Cortez.
I love that this is happening. We needed this in battle rap to finally kind of move forward.
Right.
You know, finally have some kind of regulations, some stats and shit.
Right.
So you have Cortez. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not too mad at it. Between the debate, when I seen everything kind of transpiring between Rock and Red, I kind of edged it to Rock, but it wasn't that far off that I'm not mad if you pick all Red.
Right.
So why'd you have Cortez, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I did have him beating Head Ice, regardless of what the judge's decision was.
But he lost in the building. He
I
won.
had-
No,
I had him winning.
I had him winning too.
Right.
But you need to win. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? That's still a bad look. Even if
Right.
you got robbed, you have to
Right.
leave without getting robbed, especially if there's a
I'm not
rematch.
gonna sit here and go, "Oh, you got robbed," because it was, it wasn't a very clear win. But I had him winning though.
He didn't do it. He didn't do enough to just sway
I also had
over,
him
but
beat. I also had him taking Twerk at Summer Madness.
yeah, I have him taking Twerk too.
So like, and Twerk was up there for probably gonna be my battler of the year too, because, dude, what he did this year was crazy. Well, last year,
One of the best rookie years ever.
the best.
Yeah.
Period.
I haven't seen a rookie year like this since probably like Arsenal.
He made a name for
Yeah.
himself so fast and real heavy too, like quick.
Right. Disaster had a big one, because I think he had like Ilmac and Thesaurus in the same year, and then like a couple other
Yeah,
people.
but Twerk, you'll just see him hosting events. You know,
Right.
like he's a rookie and he's
No, I
already
mean,
like
I mean,
popping up every
Disaster's rookie year is what I
Right,
mean.
right, right.
What I'm meaning to say.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, Twerk's just
Yeah.
his year in battle rap in general has been crazy.
And
everyone, you know,
The competition. It was interesting because the competition level kept growing. It wasn't like it took a step down.
Bro, that kid is fucking crazy.
he's fucking smart, man. His pen is like, I know, I like the shit that he says, and he's got a lot. And it being his first year, you know what I mean?
Being
It's just gonna be
that
like-
he's my fucking friend and I've got to hang out with him mad times, and seeing how he is in real life to how he is on stage, holy shit! Like, he's so quiet. He's like he's mad young.
He's nothing what he's
quiet.
like when he's rapping. He's
And
nothing
he's-
like that. It's interesting.
He's smart, man.
Yeah,
He's smart, that kid, bro. And I emphasize the word kid because he's only like 23.
really.
Twerk is mad young.
Wow. Were you disappointed in the Wavy battle between Twerk and Wavy?
Nah, because I mean, obviously,
I was.
Wavy was cool. Wavy was pretty cool. I didn't expect him to be that good.
Wavy was really good, but like no shade to Wavy, but I just really think if we had got a Twerk that was just a little bit more solid,
I
it
think
wouldn't
he
be-
got to the point of not caring too quick, and that's the overbooking.
Yeah. But I give it up to Wavy for what he's able to do. Nobody thought he was gonna win that battle.
Yeah.
Nobody thought it. And
Even here's the thing, like, even if Twerk was still amazingly good, which he wasn't good in the battle, Wavy's rounds were still really crazy. Like, even if I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, come on, Twerk," but when Wavy started again, I was like, "Holy shit, this kid is doing well." I would have just I have no problem being like, "You both sucked." Peace. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was really good, and even if Twerk was on one, he would have had a really hard time with Wavy that night. I'm not a big old Red fan, man. I'm weird with battlers, bruh. I like Zayn Azari and shit. Do you know who that is?
I've never heard
Yeah, I didn't think so.
That's better that you don't.
Yeah.
Don't look him up.
Don't look him up.
No, don't even look him up. But I like weird stuff. But like
I know once we leave, the first thing he's gonna do.
absolutely,
Nah,
just at least watch
I-
the best. At least watch the best of Zayn. But Old Red is his fucking voice, man.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
That's fair because
I've left the battle.
That's probably the only criticism, not even criticism that I have, but just I've seen people say I just can't get into his voice, the sounds of it. It's a weird thing, but hey, if it, some people are trying to listen to these battles, and if
he's got that like your mom yelling at you performance, like
I have no,
like, when your mom yells with it, but
like, I've seen it a lot. That's what people say, like so.
When you get like yelled at by your parents, you're like, oh shit, that like screech, fuck. He's got that, and his voice where it just cringes me. I can't do it. But I don't remember what battle he did. I think Big K, where I was like, oh shit, he fixed it. He's not really that annoying. Were
you there?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I had to think about it. Yeah, I've only been to one RB event now that I think about it. Yeah. ARP tried to set up me and Uno Lavos, and then our relationship hasn't been that good since. Shout out to ARP, man. True story, though. He tried to set up that battle. I was like, yo, man, is that how you feel about me, bro? You know what I mean? But, yeah, ARP's killing it though, bro. He's killing it.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know how he does that. He's got a good staff. He's got a good bunch of dudes.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of his events recently. Went to Pearly Gates. Just went to the one last weekend.
How was the 2-on-2?
It was just a big outclass, man. Like, young Cannon, Big Cannon don't really have the chemistry that you would think they would. And Clips and DNA is just they were freestyling and finishing each other's rounds.
Yeah.
Like that. If that isn't chemistry, I don't know what else is. You know.
Right. I've seen Bangs do that by himself. He's so funny, man. Bangs the best freestyler in battle rap. Period.
That man's insane.
You think he's the best? Period.
Not even.
That's a bold state. There's a lot of freestyles in battle rap.
I've witnessed Bangs do some really impressive shit.
I've witnessed him do crazy stuff.
Off camera. Oh, you talking?
On camera. Flip Grams, I think, would be the best one to put up there.
Car. Like one time we were in traffic for like an hour and a half, and this guy freestyled for a whole hour and a half. The beats just kept changing, and he just kept rapping. There was no stopping him.
Wow. There's a million people with that same story. That anyone that drives anywhere with him. Lord K's like, 5-hour trip to Boston. He rapped the whole way.
Yeah, he rapped for an hour and a half. Yeah. Freestyle. Wow. Because he was rapping about shit that was happening as we were driving.
Yeah, he's crazy, dude. Bangs, Big Cannon.
Big Cannon, DNA, Show Trez, Holler the Don, Charlie Clips, DNA. Where you want to go? Iron Solomon back in the days.
I don't know.
Nah, but Bangs is really like the best out of all of them, man. I've seen him flip somebody's whole round and then end it.
I don't know. I don't know if I could immaculate. What
I've never seen any of them do the things that Bangs does.
Immaculate was 15 years old, right? And when he went to Scribble Jam,
was he really?
Yeah, he was 15 when he went to Scribble
Jam. He's 15 now.
He went and he wasn't even like registered to battle that day. He just went because somebody else didn't go, so he like picked up a slot and he freestyled the entire event and won.
Damn,
that's pretty crazy.
That's legendary shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot. When you say there's a lot of freestylers in this game, it's just like wow.
I won Def Comedy Jam once.
Yeah.
No, Mixtape Comedy Jam. I won that once, so I guess I'm the greatest. But Bangs, man. Like I've seen Bangs. He battled XL 5 rounds. Wrote the whole thing in the parking lot.
Yeah. He wrote it in the parking lot.
Yeah, all 5 rounds in the parking lot. I swear to God, we was with him the whole time.
Shit.
Yeah, he wrote the whole thing in the parking lot. I think his second round versus Flip Grams, he flips whole last round against him and then ends it and doesn't use any of his writtens.
Against Daylight, he rebuttals, then goes to his writtens, then decides to rebuttal a little bit more.
Oh yeah, with the Captain Planet thing.
I remember that.
Yeah, that kid is insane,
He'll
man.
get a rebuttal mid-round after, you know what I mean? He won't have to think about it like before and be like, I'm going to start my round with a rebuttal.
There's just a handful of guys.
It's just like midway between his round, it just came to him, so I just throw it out there.
I feel like I
don't really see anybody else do that.
But I guess because I hear the rounds before he raps them, and then I see how they come out, and I'm like, you're a fucking god, man. How did you do that? You know, like, I'm screaming in Daylight, and when he's battling Daylight, I'm screaming, don't use your writtens. You can hear me. I'm screaming it at the top of my lungs because I heard all 3 of his rounds, and he's like a minute and a half into his round, and no writtens are used.
Wow.
And I'm like, don't. Just keep fucking going, you know what I mean? Because they're loving it. They're loving it. They're loving the fact that he's freestyling.
Right.
You know? And it's all shit that's being said to him. You know? Oh, you said Captain Planet, well, the ring is fire. You know what I mean? Like, the whole time, bro. You know what I mean? You won't get that smoke for real. Like, he had so much shit in that battle that
battle was crazy.
Crazy. And the thing with him and DNA, which was him being my friend, was, like, hard to watch it because I know what he's capable of. It's like, he was like an example had to get made, and it was Bangs, and this is what the Bangs example was. Sometimes people aren't ready for the battles that they get, and not skill-wise, not performance-wise, but fan-base-wise. And, you know, if you don't want to sit there and battle DNA, and he's got fucking 50 fans in the audience, you lost already to them, no matter what you do. You can say the hottest shit. Boo! You're not ready. Until you have 60 fans in the audience to match his 50, you ain't ready.
Wow.
You know, that's not something that a lot of people who set up matches think about. They don't take that into account. You know?
I've actually never even thought of that far.
Right.
Like the fan base of things can really take that much of an effect.
Right. Like this was my big thing with JC and Lux. Is I was like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Can JC win the battle? Yeah. Are they gonna let him win the battle? No. Absolutely not. Bloated Lux is gonna have 400 fans in the room. JC's going to have less than 100. You lost, bro. You lost. No matter how good your stuff is, he's going to win in that room, you know? And the crowd plays a part on how good your stuff turns out. Yeah. You could spit the hardest stuff, and they're going to be in there like, we came here for Lux. And that's going to throw you off.
But there has been battles where people come into foreign territories and leave with the win. So that's not unheard of neither.
Right. But that's the crowd letting them do it.
DNA does that all the time. He goes places. He travels a lot. He goes places where he's hated.
People love DNA everywhere.
He wasn't always loved. We got to remember that.
Right. You're right there. He wasn't loved till Summer Madness 2. Till ENOS.
Honestly, yeah. I would say, for me, yeah. But even then, some people were doubting him from Gnome 4 still. You're right. When he was going to battle Ill Will, and everybody's like, we got Ill Will beating DNA.
He just got that face. He's just got that face where you're just like, yeah, I want you to lose so bad.
He's had to countlessly prove himself time and time again. It's crazy.
He's a chameleon-faced guy.
Arsenal has only had 6 battles at home out of his, like, 50.
And he lost most of them, right?
He lost a lot of his battles. I'm not going to lie.
He lost.
But before
I don't think he's ever won a battle on his own league.
On his own league?
I think Lux beat him. Math beat him. Clips beat him. He just throws all these battles on his own league and loses them all.
He's gone on the road and taken a lot of wins.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love watching Ars, man. His disrespect is fucking top notch. Him and Caustic is my shit. That's my shit. That's a good battle.
Yeah, man.
You know? But, yeah, he be losing them Ultimate Warrior battles, that's for sure. I'll be watching him. I'm just like, damn, man, like, you set these shits up. How you you decided to do this, and all your friends are there, bro. But I don't know. He just be getting these guys on their game.
Yeah, man.
Or maybe he needs to set his battles up better.
He got this battle with Hollow coming up, and that's crazy. So we'll stay tuned in for that.
I know a little secret about that event that I'm not gonna let all the way in, but man, they're smart. Granted, it's private. I heard it's not in New York.
Interesting.
It's super interesting because then it makes you think the booking's going to be different then. They're geographically placing it there for a reason. Closer to Atlanta, maybe? You know?
That's interesting.
It is. I'm a sicko for talking about this. I should not be talking about it, but I don't give a fucking shit. This is why it took me so long to get on URL. They knew once I got in, it's a wrap. But fucking man, honestly, when I first met Beasley and shit, that guy's a fucking genius, bro.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's mad smart with branding and everything, and he fucking cares about his shit. When he's up there on stage, everybody get the fuck off stage. It's not. He's not mean. He just really wants his stuff to come out good.
Beyond the fact that he's mentally aware of so many things, he's physically there too. Where he's like, if he has to physically get involved to separate things.
Oh, he's ready.
He's ready.
He's ready.
Nobody's getting through Beasley's arms.
No, he's been dieting the last 2 weeks to get you all off stage. You know, he hasn't eaten any fat for a month because you have to get off stage. You know, he's nuts. He's nuts. But shout out to Beasley, man. One of the hardest working people in this stuff, man. And he really cares about his artists.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I think we're slowly starting to approach that time. So before I let you gentlemen get up out of here, I want to know what's going on in iBattle. What's the next event coming up?
We got February 14th. No, February 16th and 17th. 16th. 14th is just a big day because something special is happening, which I'm not gonna go into.
Valentine's Day.
We got a big surprise.
We got a little surprise.
That weekend we got a big surprise. Put it that way.
Yeah.
It starts in the middle of the week. But
Right.
Nice.
And it starts on Valentine's Day.
All right. So I might tell my girlfriend she gotta wait. That's
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are telling me.
Nah.
Tell her you got her a rap
Put it
battle
this
for
way,
Valentine's
we have
Day.
to start.
Hold on.
We have to start prepping.
Lex
we
wants-
have to start. We have to abandon Valentine's Day.
You
and
don't
prep for the
want to
event
be
starting
liable to
tonight.
get me in trouble. Lex is trying to get me in trouble.
Blame Lex.
Trouble's where it's
It
at.
don't even matter. Blame Lex. It don't even matter.
Well, aside from the secret, though, we do have Kid Slade versus Prez Mafia going down.
okay.
Monster Leakness versus Shot G is going down. Round 2 of our Ultimate Writer Tournament, which is we're back to judge battles, $1,000 grand prize, and we're also gonna give a combine slot to the winner because iBattle's gonna do our own combine. We're gonna do it correctly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm motivated for that. I'm motivated with
How's that tournament going? Is everybody's hungry in it?
It's the first round was amazing. It went way better than I envisioned it could. You know,
people are hungry in it. I think the most thing we were concerned with was the judging panel.
Yeah.
We have a new format of judging in a way. Instead of just hey, who do you think won? Oh, fucking Joe won. All right, Joe.
Yeah, we try to come up with a little bit more of a detailed system to make it, at least so when the judges say who they think won, or they have some way throughout the battle that they could show us I think this is why.
Right.
So I feel like it's more legit, and I don't think we had any problems. I think all of the decisions and the judges' decisions, how everything came out, was pretty well received. Wasn't any kind of backlash, that's bullshit. Nobody felt that.
It was cool. Nems was in the building.
That's what's up.
Cortez was in the building.
Cortez
Just one from Grind Time Upstate was in the building. Real Talk was in the tournament. That's why. But
cool.
it was good. It was good
competitive. It was for me. It was really refreshing. I felt like it was almost like we had a different league for a moment because
right.
people usually iBattle we're all right, everything's laid back, have a good time. This was nah.
It was nerve-wracking.
It was yo, I was on the time watching, so I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm
usually before battles we're drinking, we're smoking.
Yeah,
these kids before these battles were man, I'm good. I'm not smoking. This is a $1,000 tournament.
It was a really, really cool vibe. I was into it. It made me want to do more judged battles and
right.
We're brainstorming something along those lines.
Right.
Nice.
So we have round 2 of that tournament coming up next weekend in Staten Island.
Nice.
With Prez Mafia and Kid Slade and Shot G and Monster Leakness. And a couple of my boys on the undercard, Jots from Philly, Joe Traps from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Keese is from Florida. Kid Kinsey, he's from my neighborhood out in Staten Island. But it's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait for it.
Nice, man.
All right, gentlemen. I definitely appreciate your time, man.
Thanks for having us out,
man.
All right, man. We got to do the what's his name? Quagmire. Doot. No, wait, not Quagmire. What's his name?
Who?
The interview guy. Nardwar. You guys don't know Nardwar? All right, we're out, man.
Bro.
So this one we got to search when we leave. All right, Nardwar, Zayn Azarai,
boy,
and not Joe. And that's it.
That's a wrap.